Hi there, I'm Sarah and welcome back to my channel. So back in June, my siblings and we all met in Banff and had an amazing trip. We only did 2 hikes and one of them was the Lake Agnes Tea House hike. Now it was absolutely gorgeous. The views were stellar, but I'm not gonna lie, it was rough for me at least. I was dealing with some health issues at the time, which I thankfully believe I'm kind of coming out the other side. And I also live in Florida at sea level. So those 2 factors definitely made it harder for me than it was for the rest of my family. However, it was absolutely gorgeous. So in this video, I will share my full experience and what you can expect should you decide to do the Lake Agnes Tea House hike and even the Little Beehive add-on, which we also did. I started the trail at Lake Louise around 8:15 a.m. with my siblings and their families. The path begins gradually winding through the forest, and I quickly realized just how different hiking at 5,600 feet above sea level feels compared to Florida. The trail is wide and well marked, which made it easy to follow, and there are plenty of spots to pause, take photos, and catch your breath, something I definitely needed. About an hour in, I reached Mirror Lake. It's a beautiful little lake with a striking rock backdrop, and I took a few minutes here to breathe and snap photos. Then came the switchbacks leading up to Lake Agnes Tea House. My heart rate climbed and my right knee, which I'm still strengthening after a past injury, reminded me it was working very hard. Just before the tea house, I passed a small waterfall. It's a perfect spot to pause, and the sound of the rushing water felt like a reward in itself. After climbing some stairs, I arrived at the Lake Agnes Tea House. Sitting by the lake with the mountains in the backdrop, I finally got a chance to relax, enjoy a snack, and soak in the views. It was worth every step. We decided to tackle the Little Beehive add-on. It's only half a mile from the tea house, but at this altitude and after that main hike, it is a solid push. The views, though, are incredible. You can see both Lake Louise and Mirror Lake from above, and the mountains stretch endlessly in every direction. I took my time, snapped photos, and really let myself enjoy the moment. On the way down, my heart rate and breathing were easy, but my knees felt the effort from the descent. Thankfully, my sister brought her knee brace, which helped a lot, and I took it slow just to be safe. Overall, the hike was challenging for me, but the scenery, the tea house, and the Little Beehive made it so rewarding. By the time I returned to Lake Louise, I had walked over 19,000 steps, and it felt amazing to complete the hike at my own pace. So if you're planning this hike, here is what I recommend bringing and doing. Definitely bring water and electrolytes to stay hydrated. Bring cash for the tea house if you want to buy anything or treat yourself there. They do accept credit cards, and we ended up using a credit card. However, the service is spotty, and so you need to bring cash just in case. Comfortable hiking shoes or tennis shoes with good grip are very important, and then of course layers for changing temperatures. I wore my hiking boots, but I had family that just wore their normal kind of running shoes and they did just fine. If it's wet, it might be a little bit more challenging, especially coming down, but either way, if you have shoes with good grip, you should be good. Sun protection, even though you're starting off in the forest, the Little Beehive is less shaded, so a hat, sunglasses, sunscreen, just general sun protection. Some optional things to consider are trekking poles. I did see some people with trekking poles, and I think they would definitely be useful on the descent. A knee brace if, like me, you have any knee issues. Both of those can definitely help on this hike, but are not completely necessary. When hiking in Banff, you should always have bear spray just in case, but I will say that this hike is very popular and full of people, so it's not likely that you're going to encounter a bear. Arrive early and give yourself plenty of time to enjoy the trail at your own pace. We enjoyed lunch at the Fairmont after the hike, and it was such a nice reward. Even if you're not a seasoned hiker, this trail is manageable if you take breaks, pace yourself, and enjoy the journey. The views in the tea house made it all worth it. The Lake Agnes Tea House hike is truly a highlight of Banff. Take your time, enjoy the views, and don't forget to stop and soak it all in. Check out my blog for more Banff tips and hikes that I'll link below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Bye!